Right now, the only people still producing pistols in .357 SIG caliber are Glock or custom-made guns. Hello everyone and welcome back to AmmoMart.com. Today we're going to continue our exploration of the .357 SIG caliber and talk about how it could be used as an everyday carry gun. I've learned through exhaustive research that your options are not by quantity very good related to the .357 caliber in an everyday carry gun. I couldn't find any evidence that there was ever a single stack, which a lot of people prefer for everyday carry, a single stack factory original model ever produced by anyone. So most of them are double or stack and a halves, which may or may not be your thing for everyday carry. However, if anybody out there knows of one, please pass it on to me because I would love to pass it on to our viewers, but I couldn't find one. Everyday carry guns, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that carry a full-size pistol for everyday carry. They have a good holster, they have a good system, they wear the right clothes, and it all seems to work for them. Right now, the only people still producing pistols in .357 SIG caliber are Glock or custom-made guns. So with Glock, your options are this. Model 31. I'm going to be apologetic about this. This is actually not a Model 32, but I'm holding up this Glock 19 in rose color. I'm trying to get in touch with my feminine side so that we can kind of get an idea that you have large, medium, and small. The Model 32 Glock would be roughly this size, or the compact 40 size. Also with the Glock, you can get the Model 33. You notice this short little guy with a thick handle. 9 rounds of capacity in the magazine and kind of chubby for some people's taste. I find it to be an okay shootable gun, but a lot of other people not so much. So, safety check on the weapons. Those are your options from Glock. There are still a lot of models that used to be made by SIG that you can get, which are the Model 229 we talked about in a previous video, and the 226. Though full size and steel, know a lot of people that carry those guns in a lot of different calibers, but once again, proper holster, proper system, right attire, totally doable thing. But here's the exciting part. If you have a single stack 40 caliber handgun, in most cases, you can get a .357 SIG replacement barrel for it. And there's a ton of those out there from companies like Storm Lake and on and on. That gives the shooter a lot of options that you may not get with other calibers. But like we stated in the previous video, you have to be careful. Do your homework on whether or not your 40 Smith & Wesson gun can actually handle the extra pressure that a .357 SIG is going to give it. If you have a steady diet of the SIG caliber in your 40, maybe okay, maybe not okay. Obviously, if you already have a .357 SIG, and you want to get a 40 barrel, they can do that too. However, once again, I know of none of those that are in single stack. So your options get pretty limited. So what's a single stack everyday carry gun? Well, you have Smith & Wesson M&Ps. Unfortunately, once again from SIG, the operations chief at SIG was once quoted as saying that you would see a P365 and 45 ACP before .357 SIG, and he immediately followed that up with, and you're never going to see a 45 ACP in the 365 platform. So that seems like it's out certainly from SIG. But if you own a single stack 40, get on the web, find a reputable company, and I think you're going to be able to determine that there are some options out there for you in the .357 SIG everyday carry guns. For those of you that may be wondering, and this is an excellent question, does a 40 magazine, is it compatible with the .357 SIG caliber? And the answer is, in overwhelmingly most of the cases, it absolutely is. Some magazines I've even seen, aftermarket mags designed for Glocks, even say .357/SIG and 40 right behind it. So they are interchangeable in most cases. Before you select the .357 SIG caliber as your everyday carry gun, there's some things that we need to know about it. Number one, it produces a ton of speed, 1,400 foot-pounds per second, which means the gun should be very accurate. However, one of the downsides to it is if you're used to shooting 40, most people find that the .357 SIG has more recoil than the 40. So if you're shooting a 40 Smith & Wesson, small gun, hard to control, and you're already struggling it, the 357 SIG is probably not going to make that better. In the previous video, I talked about the recoil differences. In theory, it's supposed to recoil less than the 40 Smith & Wesson, but in my humble, it does not. And we talked about the physics formula of why that is, because you have so much gas built up in that bottleneck cartridge. And once you get that factored into the recoil formula, my humble is it absolutely recoils more than a 40 Smith & Wesson. But you do get accuracy, and you will have a ton of stopping power.